These past years, I've been living abroad and traveling in different places. I started when I was 17 and I did a lot of mistakes along the way. So hopefully with this video, I can help you to avoid those mistakes on your next travel because it can be very frustrating. Salut guys, welcome to Tips on Travels. My name is Lauren. I'm a French girl who loves traveling. Here on this channel, we talk about accommodation tips, travel news, destinations, and so much more. So make sure to subscribe along with the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I post a new video. And let's get started with the mistakes to avoid as a traveler. Let's go. First off, overpacking. You probably already know it and you might think, Lauren, come on, we're not stupid. We know that we shouldn't overpack. Well, exactly. But even if most of people know it, it is still one of the most common mistakes from travelers. And I won't lie to you, I still do it sometimes because you start to think about every possible scenario that can happen in your trip. And next thing you know, you packed all your closet into your suitcase. Well, let's be real. We won't wear and we don't wear half of the things that we pack into our suitcase. So I advise you to be choosy about the clothes and the shoes that you might bring with you. For example, choose colors that mix well together. For example, we always say that you need 2 colors to make an outfit, but 3 colors is always great too. And you can mix, for example, white, black, gray, or white, gray, yellow, or white, black, red, some type of colors like that. You can, for example, make a list with all the outfits that you want to bring and all the colors that can match together, and then you choose your clothes. Also use multi-purpose items, for example, a pair of jeans, because you might use it several times during your trip. And last thing, bring comfortable shoes. At this time of the year, we wear most of the time boots, so I advise you to bring, for example, boots, sneakers, and a pair of shoes that you can wear to go out at night. And as you can guess, a bit of planning can help you to avoid checked bag fees, for example, or overweight and heavy bags. I'm going to tell you a story time. When I left to Mexico, I didn't travel for a long time, for a while, and I bring way too much things into my suitcase. My bag was really heavy and it was really annoying and hard to go around the country and travel. So this is probably the main tip that I can give it to you. Do not overpack and try to plan a bit before to leave. The second mistake you should avoid is short layover, and yes, it is important. Make sure to book enough time between your flight because nobody wants to wait 10 hours at an airport because they missed their connecting flight. This can happen, for example, if you're flying to a small airport or if you're coming from a small airport. When you're traveling internationally, you want it as smooth as possible, and that's why it's definitely stressless if you're booking your flight with 3 or 4 hours layover between those. I know it can be a lot, but trust me, a checked bag that didn't arrive on time, if you have to get through the security, it's definitely better to just have time to sit down and drink a coffee than to rush you don't miss your flight. Alright, next one is money mistakes. I'm going to explain myself in this part, but experience is talking right now, you can be sure of that. You need to budget yourself and to stick to it as much as possible, just to allow you breathing room for unexpected expense, like for example the PCR test, because it can be expensive in some countries, or emergency, like for example if you get an injury or if you get sick. Just in case something happens, I always save up like $500 on the side to make sure I have enough money if something happens. Also make sure to inform your bank of your travel plans before you leave, just to avoid any problems. You probably guessed, but some banks tend to charge extra fees if you use their credit card abroad. That's why I advise you, and that's what I do too, to use international online bank, like for example N26 or Revolut. Those cards are great. It's free debit card that you can use everywhere in the world without you have extra fees. They have different type of currency, and like we always say, do not put your eggs in the same basket. That's what I'm talking about here. Another money mistake that I did too a lot is to not having local currency in cash, because you know, most of the time we use credit card, we don't really care to have cash on us. But the thing is, like when you're traveling mostly in a foreign country, it's important to have cash on you because you never know what can happen. Again, experience is probably talking, but many places do not accept credit cards and it can be hard in some countries to find ATMs. That's why I just advise you to pull out cash at the airport just in case, Also, if you may use, for example, public transportation or taxi cab, you might need cash. The other mistake other travelers do and you shouldn't do is not having a power supply adapter and an unadapted SIM card when you're traveling. I guess you understand why it's important, but in different countries, the power supply can be different. It's not the same in the US than in UK, that it is in France, for example, or in China. So it is important to have a power supply adapter when you're traveling out of your country. I know you can purchase it almost everywhere in the world, but it can be sometimes annoying to find it or expensive. So the advice that I can give it to you is to purchase it online and to plan it before to leave. Also, having an adapted SIM card is really important just to save up some money. And if you have an international SIM card, this is great for you, but make sure you have enough data to cover all your needs while you're traveling abroad, and you can also make phone calls from another country. Also, if you're traveling for a long time, I advise you to get a local SIM card. It will be definitely cheaper. And if you're traveling for only a week or two, well, my best advice would be to stick to the Wi-Fi. All right, last one is not having the right documents with you and any travel insurance. It's better to be well prepared for any case, and about the right document, I advise you to print them in the first time, but also to have a digital copy in your email box just in case. When I'm talking about important documents, I'm talking about, for example, your passport, your visa, your IDs, your driving license, your credit card, your insurance, and everything that can be important when you're traveling in a different country. Also, you might be probably surprised, but in some countries, they won't let you in, for example, if your passport will expire in 6 months. So before traveling into a foreign country, make sure to check out their policies and also the expiration date of your passport. Also, spending a few more dollars into a travel insurance is really important and can bring you peace. Even if you're traveling on budget and you have to count your pennies, I mean, like, we all know what it is to travel. Sometimes it can be hard, but to get a travel insurance will definitely be more secure for you. Just in case if you lose your bags, or if your trip is cancelled, or if you have medical emergency, we never know what can happen on the trip, and it's better to be well prepared. I get thirsty when I'm talking. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. Make sure to smash that button if you like it. Don't forget to comment if you have any question and if you want a part 2 too, because there are plenty of mistakes that travelers are doing. So I'll be happy to do a part 2. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Salut!